Hi, everyone. I know I've been kind of MIA. I strained my back last week, so I've been in bed and resting for the last 5 days. So I've decided this week I'm going to go ahead and do the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine reading through recording instead of live. I'm also going to do the Taurus full moon reading recorded instead of live. But I will go back to live readings next week. It's just easier for me to do it like this, and it doesn't take as long, and I'm not sure, like, I'm getting personal readings done and trying to catch up on things, but I'm still having to rest in between. So I don't want to get like super uncomfortable where I am. Yeah, see, like just a little bit of shifting and it hurts. So we're going to do the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine reading for the week of October 22nd. Welcome to Scorpio season. If you are a Scorpio, you have readings 20% off on my website. All of my services 20% off by using the code BIRTHDAY when you check out. Also, Libras until October 31st, you also have 20% off using the code BIRTHDAY. So take advantage of that. We only have, 8 more days, 9 more days left to use the birthday code for Libras. So take advantage of that while you can. I hope everybody's doing well. It's going to be kind of a quiet week. We have a lot of Scorpio energy right now. I think that it's evening out a little bit. So let's see, we have Mercury, Venus, the Sun, Jupiter, all in Scorpio right now. So if you're feeling if you're feeling like things are shifting, they are. So this is for the Divine Feminine. We have the Chariot, which is move in this deck. So a lot of movement. A lot of divine timing is happening also. You could be thinking of traveling. You could actually be traveling or moving somewhere. But more than anything, the Chariot is talking about you're on the right path. You know, this is kind of that destiny card. When the Chariot shows up, it's kind of confirmation saying, no, you're going the right way. And maybe there was a tower moment that you needed to have to get back on track for it. But if you're wondering, you know, what's going on right now in your life, am I really on the right track? This is kind of confirmation saying, yes, Divine Feminine, you are on the right track. And that's kind of been a question a lot lately because a lot of Divine Feminines are changing the way that they're doing things. There's a lot of detachment happening. And why is that? Well, the Divine Masculine is showing up as the King of Swords. So you could have a very air sign type quality in your life. This is also the King of Swords is fixed. The King of Swords doesn't move. The King of Swords stays very tunnel visioned, stays the course, right? So if you're dealing with a Divine Masculine that's not really moving very fast, not really moving not going anywhere, this is kind of the opportunity for you to shine, right? Ace of Swords. Because I always tell everybody that I work with when I do personal readings for them that you have to allow them, you have to allow the Divine Masculine to experience their own journey and not get wrapped up in their healing process and what they're doing in their life. And I think there's a lot of clarity coming to the Divine Feminines for this. I thought I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Apparently I did not, so I'm going to have to do that. The Ace of Swords for me is like coming to a very harsh truth about it. The Divine Masculine could be a little cold to you, but I don't even think that. I think that in some ways you're recognizing where your happiness and your stability is kind of on your own. A lot of Divine Feminines and Divine Masculines have come into union lately. A lot of them have separated. It kind of just depends on where you are in your journey. Let me make sure that this is on. Do not disturb. Sorry. Okay. It kind of depends on where you are on your journey. A lot of people are recognizing that the person they thought was their divine masculine, or the person they thought they were supposed to be with, wasn't really. It wasn't the king, right? They weren't showing up as the king. They were showing up more as a page. They weren't offering enough. But the divine feminine this week really looks good. Like, in a way where the truth, it's kind of like, I want to say the truth will set you free, right? You're recognizing what your truth is. You're recognizing where your stability is, and working very hard to get it, right? You know the Ten of Pentacles is in your future. You know that you have the Ten of Pentacles now. And the Ten of Pentacles does not mean being like rich materially, in a material way. You could be, I don't know, but also just being rich within yourself. Coming to that wholeness, that oneness of what you truly believe is your path, you know? And a lot of us had to, oh, look at that. There's the divine feminine. So we got the Hermit and the Queen of Pentacles. A lot of divine feminines have recognized that they've had to do this journey on their own. The Hermit, I love the Hermit card. And not just because I'm a Virgo, but I am a Virgo. But the Hermit card represents for me that wise person that decided to take that journey on their own, go to the top of a mountain on their own, in the dark with just a little lantern, just a little light. Didn't really know the path they were taking, didn't really understand it. And then they get to the top of the mountain, they connect with the divine, your divine source, whoever that is to you, God, Jehovah, Allah, whoever it is to you, right? And I just call it the divine. It's an energy. And you recognized where it is that you are the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is somebody who knows her value, who works very, very hard, who is very loving and nurturing, who is very confident in her ways. She is a stable part of society, and because sometimes we've had, throughout this year, really, I mean, let's be honest, it's almost November. Throughout this entire year, the divine feminine has recognized where it is that her value truly lies, and that's within. And she knows that she can make a stable existence in her life without having like the divine masculine there pushing her along, right? There's this knowing that it's not that the need to have her divine masculine. Yes, maybe she would like to have that divine masculine by her side, but she knows she doesn't need it to survive. We all need to have that affection. We all need to have that love. But if we're not getting it from the person that we thought we needed it from, you find it within yourself, right? So let's see. King of Swords. And remember that we all have the divine masculine and the divine feminine within us. When we are balanced with it. Whoa, that was a lot. I'm not taking all of, that was a lot. I'm not taking all of those. We're going to shuffle again. When that's balanced within us, it is very easy to be strong within faith and knowing that you are on the right course, because you have that intuitive nature, but you also have that very grounded, logical nature about you. So let's see, King of Swords. Let's clarify the King of Swords. If you've recognized, you've made a decision and recognized Two of Wands on the King of Swords, that maybe it's possible that the divine masculine you thought you were supposed to be with isn't the person you're supposed to be with. Or you are out there searching for your divine masculine because you don't know who he is. The clarity of what it is that you do want in your life, like you're making that decision now. You're looking out. The Two of Wands, if you look at this guy, he's like looking out into his future. He has the world. He has a globe in his hand. He knows what he's searching for. So what is this clarity? What is the Ace of Swords? This could also be communication. It could be waiting for your divine masculine to communicate with you, or being at ease. Six of Swords, being at ease because it's very clear where you stand now. Divine Feminine, it's very clear where you stand now. You don't want to have all the drama. You're moving, the Six of Swords is moving away from the drama. Moving away from always feeling like you're searching for more. Moving away from feeling like you need to have more because you have what you need, right? You have that stability. Yes, you want to have the union. You want to have the marriage. You want to have the happy home and the happy family. But if you weren't getting that, if you're searching for it in a different way now, it's because you're not longing for it. You know, the longing and the needing and the desiring and the, oh my gosh, when am I going to get it? That's not high vibration manifesting. High vibration manifesting is, I know I deserve to have all the love and all the happiness, right? As I say that, I know I deserve to have all the love and all the happiness, but when am I going to get it? Some of us are still desiring and longing and hoping for that one person to come back. And I gotta say it, and I will say it every single week until it sinks in. I gotta say that you cannot get stuck on a certain outcome with a certain person. You have to open yourself up to the possibilities that maybe there is somebody else. And for a while in these readings, it's like this newness, this new person or a new soulmate or something new in your existence is supposed to be coming in. But if you're sitting here blindfolded thinking, no, I know the person I want to be with. I know the person I'm supposed to be with. I've been told by other oracles or psychics or tarot readers. I've been told that this is my twin flame. This is my divine masculine. This is who I'm supposed to be with, over and over and over again. Maybe that is the energy of somebody that you were supposed to be with. But if they're not vibrating at the same level as you, if you have risen above, if you have started vibrating and really truly loving yourself and seeing where that stability is, they're not going to resonate with that vibration anymore. Maybe eventually they will. But do you really want to sit here blindfolded for how long? How long are you going to sit there and wait for one person to show up? Years? And be alone and miserable and always wondering? Always wondering. So the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles also talks about a very stable home. I feel like the Divine Feminine is really wanting to allow herself to open up to the possibility that there's just so much more. You know, there's so much more than she's been allowing herself to have. And this Venus retrograde, yeah, there's been an inner struggle. How do I get to this Ten of Pentacles? That's what the Five of Wands is saying. How do I get to this Ten of Pentacles? How do I make this happen? How? Instead of opening up all the possibilities, allowing space for the universe to work. That's like the biggest thing for me. I always tell people, you've got to allow space. This is not allowing space for the universe to work. Yes, maybe you're clear and recognizing, I don't need to be stuck anymore. I can make the decision. Do I want to be with one person, or do I want to wait for one person for the rest of my life? And they never show up the way that I need them to? Or can I really do this on my own and find somebody that's vibrating at my level? Vibrating on the highest level, right? So that internal struggle can be very real. I feel like a lot of divine feminines are breaking out of the internal struggle, but some they're being forced to sit within it and be like, what is it that I truly deserve in my life? What kind of person do I need to show up in my life, right? But finding that wholeness within yourself first is the biggest part. And the recognition of doing it on your own, of going to the top of the mountain because you had that internal struggle, because you were blindfolded, because you couldn't get, and you need to know if you're worried about leaving somebody behind, or you're worried about, but what if I do keep going forward and I totally lose my divine masculine? What if, right? What if? If they're not resonating on your level in any way, shape, or form, how is that divine? How is that something that you can connect with, right? So that's why the advice is to move and to know that you are on the right path and you are rebuilding. And the hermit does that well. After after learning from the divine, after going to the top of a mountain and learning from the divine, the hermit can then rebuild with the Three of Pentacles. And Queen of Pentacles. So focus on your stability, right? Because the universe is offering this as a gift with the Ace of Pentacles on the Queen of Pentacles. A lot of stability focus for the divine feminine this week, which I really like, and it's not that you need to focus on the material side of life, but the divine feminine is the intuitive side of you. It's the feelings side of you. And a lot of times we get caught up in the feelings and the intuition, and we need to get super grounded. And when we get super grounded, it's a lot easier to answer the questions of that internal struggle instead of constantly fighting it, So the reality of where you want to be is not the Five of Pentacles. This is like Page of Cups, Three of Wands, Two of Swords, King of Wands, and the Six of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. I feel like the divine feminine has a choice to make, because she's sitting in a place of wanting to be more fulfilled. She's sitting in a place of feeling like she's lacking in some way. And with the Page of Cups and the Three of Wands and the Two of Swords, you could have more than one masculine energy around you, but always hoping for one particular energy to come back, right? Because we have the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles with the Six of Cups in between it. And right before that came the Two of Swords. So it's like you're constantly waiting for one energy to show up that's not showing up. You want one energy from the past to show up, but there's a newer energy that wants to come in. And the longing and the waiting and the desiring, you want to be fulfilled. You don't want to feel, you feel the divine feminine feels like they're lacking in some way. And you can't manifest in a Five of Pentacles state. You can't manifest everything you want in a Five of Pentacles state. This is not allowing the universe to work for you. The wanting and the needing and the longing of the Page of Cups and the Three of Wands is just waiting. Like you're waiting for someone to show up, but you're blindfolded to the fact that another energy wants to come in. Which is, you know, and one energy isn't giving you much with the Page of Pentacles. You know, there's like an energy here that's, and I mean, I'm not going to get caught up in the signs that we have here, but I want you to notice that there's not a lot of major arcana showing up. And it could be because you're trying to get back on destiny, because major arcanas are our destiny. They're our fate. They're, you know, these are the signs of life that where we get all of our biggest advice from was from the major arcanas. And the only one that's really showing here is the Hermit, Divine Feminines. So I think it's time to look within, and it's time to do it, you know, on your own. And if you're a Divine Feminine that has already recognized that there's an energy from the past that needs to stay in the past, there is a new energy that's coming in. And we've got 2 cards here that are blindfolded. You're not seeing something. I feel like there is this stable happiness in your future or just around the corner, but you're not seeing something. You have to remove the blindfold. You have to let go and allow an energy to come in. Because the one that you did have was giving you peanuts. The Page of Pentacles gives you peanuts. So, yeah, don't be defensive. Don't be defensive. Don't be cold. Right? With the 9 of Wands and the Queen of Swords, don't be defensive and cold. It's time to open yourself up to what the universe wants to bring to you. And it's time to get back on track. So really go within this week. I like that. I love that message. It's very heavy. It's very deep. But I really, really like it. So let's see what's going on with the Divine Masculine. See what's going. Sorry for all the noise that's going on outside. Somebody's doing something out there. So Divine Masculine energy for the week of October 22nd. Okay. So we have 2 cards. We have Teach, which is the Hierophant, and we have Strengthening Bonds. So it kind of feels like a mirroring energy between the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine, because this is all about getting stability and really forming very strong bonds with other people or with people in general. They could super be focused on where their stability is. Here, I'm going to shuffle these a little bit. Be really focused on what it is they need to do to make their lives a little bit more stable. Their surroundings, their environment. The Hierophant is all about tradition as well. And the institution and spirituality. They could be really like strengthening their spirituality in some way. So, Divine Masculines. Okay. So, I feel like with the 9 of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the 6 of Wands, they know what they want. I feel like they're taking like new opportunities in order to get to victory, or they're really wanting to be recognized in some way. Some of them are kind of showing up differently. Divine Masculines are showing up differently. I feel like, yeah, there's a change that's happening for sure. Welcome to Scorpio season with the Death card. There's definitely a change happening with the Divine Masculines this week. The 6 of Wands can sometimes be very egotistical. So, I'm like, really try, Divine Masculine, to not get egotistical through this. It's almost like they know what they want and they're going to go get it, and they're going to do it by any means possible. But I feel like the Death card is saying it's not time yet. There's still some transitioning. They see the divine feminine as somebody who is very warm and comforting and intuitive, but sometimes she's a little emotional. You know, the Queen of Cups can sometimes be a little bit emotional, very intuitive, very open, very warm. Yeah. And the Knight of Wands. I think that they're still trying to decide on what to do here in the scenario, right? They have an idea of what they want in their life. They have an idea of where they want their stability to be. I mean, the Ace of Pentacles did come out in the Divine Feminine's reading. And with the Hierophant, it's like they know what kind of traditional values, they know what kind of family that they want to have. Are they going to go get it this week? Possibly. They might take action. The Page of Wands is about action, but it's very playful too. It's very it's like if they were to come at the Divine Feminine in a playful manner, I'm not sure how much she would accept it though. Some of them would, and it's because they're not coming at her in a king kind of way. That's kind of what I'm feeling. It's like we have the Page of Wands and we have the Knight of Wands. Both of those are very exciting, very childlike energies, very fun, playful energies. But she wants more. Like there were 3 kings in her reading. Like she wants the whole package. She wants to have the king version and not the page version, right? But he's recognizing, see what I mean? King of Pentacles. He knows what she wants, and he wants to be that king for her. But how is he coming at her? Right? How is he showing up? How are you showing up, Divine Masculine? If you want to show up as the king, then show up as the king. Make something solid. Make it real. Don't come in a way that's like, oh, like this is fun and all. This is fun and playful and stuff. Right? So let's see what the Page of Wands is. What is this child like? I feel like he is taking new approaches. He wants to offer something that's more balanced. We have the Page of Cups and Justice on the Page of Wands. So he wants to take a new approach. He wants to come at her, in childlike, fun, fulfilling, like he wants it to be a balanced kind of way and wants it to be a king type of way. But is he ready? Is the transition done yet? I feel like that's the biggest question here. The 6 of Wands is, I think that he believes it. Let's see. 6 of Wands. Yeah, he's, I just heard he's turning over a new leaf with the World. So Divine Masculines, are you turning over a new leaf? You're recognizing and rising above the situation and rising above everything. And I think that you are. It's like part of you really wants this to be this like playful banter, and the other part's like, I get it. I understand what the Divine Feminine needs. She needs a king. She doesn't want to have all these pages and knights just flitting in and out, because that's what's made her so emotional. And you don't want to have that detachment anymore. So Scorpio, Venus, this is a good time to have new beginnings because of reconciliations. And see the Fool on the Death card. Sorry, my nose is stuffy. Fall and the allergy season. Oof. Queen of Cups. Temperance. Wow. Like literally, I feel like he sees her. This is like the guardian angel. The Temperance card. She's like the guardian angel. She's like the one that sticks out for him. She's the one that comes to him in the nurturing way, in the intuitive way. I almost feel like he's recognizing what he's lost and now wants to bring forward, or maybe not even what he's lost, but it's like he's recognizing this newness within her, this open, it's more open, and it's very clear to him what she represents in his life, patience and balance, right? There's a need, they see the change that needs to happen. They see the new beginning that needs to happen. They see that the divine masculine sees that they need to come at the divine feminine in a brand new way, that is more balanced. Showing affection, showing feelings, showing emotions, not just kind of being that like sturdy figure, like the King of Swords, how the divine feminine is seeing the divine masculine as the King of Swords, somebody who's very fixed and not moving, right? The King of Pentacles can be very fixed and not moving as well, but he's showing up as the same counterpart as the Queen of Pentacles did in the divine feminine's reading. Right? And there was a King of Pentacles also in the divine feminine's reading. So the need to have this new beginning. And I think that, you know, if there was this detachment, it's becoming clear on, instead of coming at her with as a Knight of Wands, to come at her as a Knight of Pentacles. I have something stable for you. Might take a while to get there, but we have the Sun and the Knight of Pentacles on the Knight of Wands. So instead of this energy of being wishy-washy and going back and forth and not really knowing what he wants to do, divine feminines are now taking that very slow, steady pace forward, getting very clear on his intentions and what needs to happen, and allowing himself to see clearly where things needed to change. And I'm not even, oh, look at that. Speaking of the Queen of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. So he sees this future, trying to figure out this future, like divine masculine is seeing this future with the divine feminine, and how it could be stable and how it could be strong and how it could be long lasting. But now the Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands and the Ace of Cups and the Eight of Wands, he's trying to figure out, how do I communicate this to her without keeping her defenses up? How do I communicate this to her? There's a real fear with the Five of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. There's a real fear that he'll be turned down. And it could be that a lot of divine masculines aren't showing up or aren't coming forward or aren't communicating because they do feel like their divine feminine has been closed off or has closed them off. Here's the thing, is if the divine feminine has become cold, it's because that's what they felt from the divine masculine. So if you're a divine masculine and you're watching this and you are recognizing, how do I communicate? How do I show my divine feminine how much I truly, truly care? You know, trying to decide, I see her, you know, how do I let her know that I see her? I see her as a stable part of my life. I see her as a part of my future. So if you're a divine masculine and you're watching and you're wondering, how do I do that? Just do it. There's no need to fear it. Because if it's truly your divine feminine, they will reciprocate. Because I think there are a lot of regrets with the divine masculine. And it's painful. And he's recognizing now that it's painful on both sides. It's not just her in pain. It's not just him in pain. It's painful on both sides. So, And I feel like this is kind of a redemption sort of week. Like Venus retrograde in Scorpio is going to be a redemption time. Reconciliations, opening yourself up, revealing your true feelings. A lot of threes here. A lot of wanting and waiting and wishing and hoping and rebuilding and having and breaking down and rebuilding again and breaking down and rebuilding again. There were tower moments on either side this week in these readings. And I feel like the tower moments have, they're in the past. Yes, there could be more. I feel like there's already been kind of a course correction. But the divine masculine is recognizing what he wants his future to look like and who he wants to have in it. And I feel like there's a want and a need to open up and have him say, for the divine masculine to say how he really feels about the divine feminine. And I think there's going to be a perfect opportunity in the energy to do that this week. So, again, if you're a divine masculine and you're watching this, just open up. Like, why does it have to be so hard? It's not a game. Like, this isn't a game. And it's so funny because we as humans play that game, like, do I or don't I? And it's a real fear. It is a fear of being rejected. And the reason why you fear being rejected is because the divine feminine has feared being rejected for a very, very long time, or has been rejected for a very, very long time, or felt that rejection. And now you're kind of getting a taste of what she's been through because she's walked away, or you walked away a long time ago and you haven't heard from her and now things are coming back up and you're like, oh my gosh. Or she walked away and now things are coming back up and you're like, oh my gosh, what did I do? What did she do? What did we all do? It's not a game. So just and the way that I make decisions, if there is a decision that needs to be made here, do I open up or do I not? The way that I make decisions is if my soul is at peace with it, then I do it. If I'm anxious or scared or worried, I sit with that feeling and find out what that trigger is and why. Why am I scared? Why am I anxious? Do I not want to be rejected anymore? Why do I feel like I'm going to be rejected? What is it from my past? I mean, seriously, that's what I go through. That's my inner monologue. Yes, that may be a Virgo thing, but whatever I do in my life, I want to be at peace with my soul, right? So sit with this, divine masculine, sit with that and figure out why. Why do you have regrets? Why are you disappointed? Why is it still hurting? And if there is a real fear of rejection, find out why you fear rejecting and then heal that part of you and then come at the divine feminine. Because I'm not a gambling woman, but I bet you anything it would be well received if you opened up divine masculine. It would be well received. Because the divine feminine wants the same stability and the same happiness and the same future. And so, all right, guys, that's the reading for the week. It was really heavy, but it's heavy. Oh, so much water energy going on right now. So much water energy. Like the moon is in Pisces, Neptune is in Pisces. All this stuff going on in Scorpio. I mean, it's like so much water emotion. So really take care of yourselves, you guys. And I am planning on doing a full moon in Taurus reading. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it by signs or the collective yet. I haven't decided. We'll see. We'll see how much time I have. And I may just end up doing it live tomorrow. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I really need to make sure that I'm still taking care of myself too. So I love you guys. And I really missed doing readings for you. So I'm glad that I was able to get up and do it today. And have a wonderful week. And I will see you guys for the November readings that are coming. Bye.